Wouldn't it be so fantastic if GDP stood for growth, development, and progress? Did you ever wonder why it doesn't? In this video, let's understand why GDP should not be used as a metric to assess the economic health of a developing nation. Let's consider a new approach. Imagine an economic model that balances between essential human needs and planetary boundaries. It's like a donut. The sweet spot lies between the inner circle, where needs are unmet, and the outer circle, where we exceed ecological limits. This model, developed by economist Kate Raworth, aims to ensure everyone has access to life's essentials without harming our planet. The model breaks down complex economic ideas into something as simple as a donut shape to show that our current economic pursuits might be overshooting or undershooting what's sustainable, and just the inner ring represents the minimum standards for a good life based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals such as health, education, and equality. The outer ring represents the ecological ceiling. Beyond this lie climate change, biodiversity loss, and other critical thresholds. The donut model prompts us to think about economics in a way that ensures no one falls short on life's essentials while not overburdening our planet. It's a shift from the traditional grow at all costs model, aiming for a balance that promotes sustainability and equity. This framework is particularly relevant for developing nations looking to grow without the ecological and social pitfalls experienced by many developed countries. Meet gross domestic product, or GDP. It represents the total value of all goods and services produced within a country over a specific time period. Think of it as the economy's speedometer, showing us just how fast it's zooming along. For years, a climbing GDP has signaled progress and prosperity, steering policy decisions and shaping public views. Yet, GDP isn't without its blind spots. It tallies up economic activity, but often misses out on judging whether this activity is actually beneficial or detrimental. For example, GDP might rise after natural disasters due to reconstruction, but this doesn't necessarily mean an improvement in the quality of life for affected citizens. It also glosses over how income is distributed among people, potentially giving a skewed view of a nation's true economic health. What's more, GDP overlooks environmental impacts and the depletion of natural resources, critical factors for countries dependent on these resources. Ignoring these factors can lead to policies that promote unsustainable economic activities, threatening long-term environmental and economic stability. Hence, relying solely on GDP can result in misplaced priorities and misguided policies.
When placed side by side, GDP and Doughnut Economics offer starkly different perspectives on economic health. GDP focuses on quantitative growth, the more, the better. It's like measuring the water in a bathtub without noticing the leak. On the other hand, Doughnut Economics measures qualitative growth, how good or sustainable that growth is. Doughnut Economics challenges the GDP narrative by integrating social and ecological well-being into economic planning. It doesn't just ask how much, but how well and for whom. This model encourages policies that aim for inclusivity and environmental sustainability rather than mere economic expansion. It's a holistic approach that considers the long-term impacts of economic decisions. In contrast, the singular focus of GDP on economic output can drive countries to pursue growth at the expense of environmental health and social equity. This can lead to significant social and ecological crises as seen in many industrialized nations. Doughnut Economics offers a framework that helps avoid these pitfalls by promoting a balanced approach to economic development, focusing on prosperity within planetary boundaries. The case for Doughnut Economics in India. India, with its vast population and rapid economic growth, faces significant challenges and opportunities in sustainable development. The traditional GDP-focused growth model has propelled India into new economic heights, but has also led to increased inequality and environmental degradation. This is where Doughnut Economics can make a difference. Adopting Doughnut Economics in India could help address both ecological and social issues by framing economic policies within the Doughnut safe and just space. For example, investing in renewable energy and sustainable agriculture can create jobs and reduce environmental impact. This approach not only supports economic growth but also enhances social well-being and environmental health. Moreover, focusing on Doughnut Economics could help India become a leader in sustainable development among developing nations. It offers a model that other countries might follow, showcasing how economic development and sustainability can go hand in hand. This shift could redefine what it means to be a successful economy in the 21st century, moving away from the traditional GDP-centric view. To summarize, embracing a new economic paradigm. As the world grapples with climate change, inequality, and resource depletion, it's clear that traditional economic models like GDP are not equipped to address these challenges effectively. Doughnut Economics offers compelling alternative, especially for developing nations that are still shaping their economic landscapes. It provides a blueprint for sustainable growth that doesn't compromise future generations' ability to meet their needs. For countries like India, adopting Doughnut Economics could lead to a more balanced, fair, and sustainable future. It encourages an economic system that values human well-being and ecological health equally, paving the way for policies that promote long-term prosperity. As we move forward, it's crucial for developing nations to consider this holistic approach, which not only measures economic success, but also enhances the quality of life for all its citizens. In conclusion, while GDP has served as a conventional metric for economic assessment, its limitations in addressing modern-day challenges are evident. Doughnut Economics emerges as a progressive and necessary shift towards an economic model that respects both people and the planet. For a sustainable and equitable future, it's time for developing nations to rethink their economic strategies and embrace this new paradigm. In a world striving for sustainable development and equitable growth, the need for a new economic measure has never been more critical. Traditional economic indicators like gross domestic product or GDP have long been the go-to metrics for measuring a country's economic performance. However, as we face global challenges like climate change, poverty, and inequality, these conventional methods fall short. They fail to account for the well-being of citizens, the sustainability of resources, and the health of our environment. Enter Doughnut Economics, a revolutionary concept that promises to redefine what it means to achieve economic success in harmony with the planet's ecological limits and humanity's social foundations. Our traditional economic compass needs recalibrating for a sustainable and equitable future.